I'd been introduced to somebody at British Aerospace at Weybridge who were using carbon composites for building some, I think it was RB211 engine cowlings, and I got talking to them and started to understand the properties of carbon as it was then. I mean, don't forget, in that period, 31 years ago, we didn't have the range of carbon fibres and that we have today. We didn't have the resins, but even so, the advantages of strength, stiffness versus weight and so on were just obvious. And so, okay, you know, I need to sit down and think how I can produce a monocoque using this stuff, and sort of roll on from there. You know, you effectively start with a shape, with a design that you'd like to have, and then you have to kind of approach it step by step. Okay, now I've got to learn, how do I use this composite material? How do I calculate with it? And then, you know, how do I fix everything to it? Because that's a different process to a metal monocoque. And, you know, you just build up. But fundamentally, I'm dealing with the situation where I've said to myself, theoretically, that's going to give me the answer. I've got to get there. Now I've got to do it. And it's just, you just drive yourself on to do it. I came up with this thing. Ron said, wow, you know, is it going to work? I think so. and that was it. And so it was, you know, we drove the program on from there between the two of us. We went to various companies we knew were using carbon composites for various things. And they all kind of said, actually, you guys are just stepping way over the line. This is way too complicated. It's a very ambitious structure. And we don't think we don't want to be part of it. We think you're just going too far. I got this contact in America at Hercules, and the attitude is fundamentally different. You know, the attitude is, they had an R&D department specifically aimed at developing and using composites. I was introduced, I got a contact, I think Ron was the one that phoned up. We talked to the head of the R&D department, a guy called Bob Randolph, and it was just a totally different attitude. It was a case of, ooh, you know, that's new, we haven't seen anything like that before. Racing cars, well, we don't know anything about racing cars, but, you know, we're really interested in composites. Yeah, let's have a go at it. We'll do it as an R&D project. And that was, you know, that was why we ended up there. I started designing it around about the end of '79. We then had to, and I had one assistant, one guy help doing drawings and that for me, Alan Jenkins. We produced all the drawings. I did the calculations. I had some help from a British Aerospace guy that was very interested in the project. And then we had to produce all the mould tools ourselves, which were fairly big metal aluminium castings. All had to get machined. So we produced all that here in this country. And then when Hercules said they were interested to do it, we shipped all the mould tools and everything off to America. But I suppose the first monocoque was finished probably around September, maybe October in 1980. And then we joined forces with Mclaren, and then we finished it off as a racing car. Because up to that time, all the work I'd done, I mean, I'd done a basic outline scheme for the racing car, but all the work was focused on the monocoque. So after that, we then joined forces with Mclaren, so that gave me a bit more manpower in terms of design office. I mean, not a lot, another 2 or 3 guys. And we finished it off as a complete car. And then it raced, as everybody knows, in '81.